Because very often the most difficult part in meditation is often to get it started. And then when it gets started, then it tends to roll on much more easily by itself. So these are the reasons why I want to talk about this. Now when we talk about the Buddha, the first question I like to ask is, who was this being that was born into the world 2,500 years ago, and who was to become the Buddha? We can call this person maybe the Buddha to be. That might be the best. We can't really call him the Buddha yet, because obviously he wasn't enlightened yet at birth, he wasn't awakened yet. Let's call him the Buddha to be. Who was this person who was born 2,500 years ago? And of course, from a Buddhist point of view, to understand this, you have to go into the past lives. Because the past lives, they are the things which form a person into what they are in the present life. So if we understand who the Buddha was in his past lives, then we can understand who this person was who was born into the present life. Now the Buddha taught a number of discourses where he actually talked about his past life experiences, about who he was, how he practiced, what he did in those past lives. And these are the most reliable records of the Buddha's past lives that we can have. There's enormous numbers of much more unreliable records, things which are much later, stories, myths, legends, all these kind of things, which we cannot really know whether they are true or not. But these things that were taught by the Buddha himself, this is the most reliable record we have, presumably, of who the Buddha was before he got born into the present existence 2,500 years ago. And some of those stories, in my opinion, are very revealing. And one of these stories, this is a very, very simple story, and it's precisely, in my opinion, the simplicity of these stories which make them have a feel of authenticity about them. Because if something is simple, you don't normally go around praising your own teacher, the Buddha, as something wonderful, using simple stories. If you want to praise somebody, you often use something very elaborate and very special. So the fact that the stories are simple, for me, is a sign of authenticity.